to feel that needle. But thank you again for that update. Now, since the early 2000s, a congressman from Hawaii has made it a top priority to help aging Filipino War veterans in the U.S. reunite with their loved ones still in the Philippines. Alfred Acenas from EBC Hawaii-Pacific has this exclusive.
Congressman Ed Case explains why he has taken great interest in helping families in the Philippines to be reunited with their war veteran loved ones already in their twilight years.
One issue that rose to the top pretty fast for me in that representation was that with our Filipino World War II veterans who had fought, of course, incredibly bravely during World War II, had come to this country in part as a recognition for their services, them and their spouses, and then family members could not join them because of this long wait. And the fact of the matter was the veterans were getting elderly. They needed care. They should be with their families. They needed the care of their families, and yet their families could not reunify with them. And so it was in that period in my own service that I introduced the original bill, which was to allow for expedited immigration consideration for the families, the close families, primarily adult children of Filipino World War II veterans. And I didn't succeed in passing that actual bill during that service, but of course later on, that was achieved through the parole process, which is a special proceeding available to the administration to essentially fast-track the immigration situation in humanitarian areas. So in other words, one could gain humanitarian parole for a family member in emergency situations to care for their family member in the United States without having to wait all of those years on a temporary basis. So it was it wasn't a permanent solution, but it was a solution that was available then.
The Hawaii congressman also described the challenges he faced in keeping the program alive and available, especially during the Trump administration.
The Trump administration decided to terminate the parole program. This was about 2 years ago, and I felt that was dead wrong. So bringing you up to date, they proceeded with it anyway, but they did not fully implement the revocation of the parole program. And neither to this date has it been revoked. So it remains in place. Folks that are here under parole to take care of their elderly family members can stay here. But when the Biden administration came into office, we urged President Biden's new administration to reverse the prior decision to revoke the parole program. And we're awaiting their decision. And thus far, the federal government has not moved forward with that revocation. So, you know, we hope that what that means is that they're reconsidering it. Now, one thing I should note is that President Biden has proposed his U.S. Citizenship Act, which is a major bill to reform our immigration system. And the bill that both Senator Hirono and I have introduced into the last Congress is part of a massive measure that's before Congress today. So we've made headway in terms of educating folks on what this is all about.
Although Mr. Case did not specify the costs that applicants might incur, he did assure that the federal government will do everything possible to assist veterans and their families to be reunited, no matter the cost.
Well, the cost of administering the parole program are not, I don't think, significant costs. They're more administrative. They're the cost of processing an application for parole. And it's been relatively limited in terms of the number of applications for use of this program. I think that, again, there aren't that many World War II veterans left. And I think the parole program, since it started, has had only about 600 applications, of which 300 plus have been accepted. And so that's not a big cost.
Reporting from Honolulu, Hawaii, I'm Alfred Acenas, Eagle News, we live in interesting times.
For more information, visit the website uscis.gov and search for the Filipino World War II Veterans Parole Program. Thank you, Alfred, for that